How are you doing health-wise, Dana?
He's doing good. He's doing good. Tough kid, obviously. After the first round, his eye was bothering him. You could see that he got hit. And at one point, he started covering his eye like this and was kind of, messing with it. And then, Justin just kept busting.
Topuria is going to need time to recover mentally, emotionally, and physically. He's never lost before. This is gonna take something to overcome. One of the things that was Topuria's greatest weapons, greatest strengths, greatest traits, besides his overall ability and technically be sound, and he was a full package. He really was. Talent-wise, technique, everything. But one of the things foremost that leads the way for all those things to mean something is he has supreme.
This is where the story took a more serious turn. What began as another brutal UFC battle quickly became a discussion about Ilia Topuria's health. An undefeated champion was now dealing with a significant eye injury, prompting even Dana White to speak cautiously about his future. When the conversation shifts from winning fights to recovery, it signals far more than a difficult night inside the octagon. It marks the beginning of uncertainty.
And the ref, Ilia really wanted to continue, and then I actually think he probably won that round too.
Yeah,
that he went into
round
and
4.
Then his corner, I think, stopped the fight, and props to them. I would never say anything. Listen, if you're thinking about retiring and that's what you want to do, it's probably what you should do. But on the flip side, you just beat an undefeated badass, decisively finished him. And I don't know, it's just something that he needs to work out with, himself and his own mind and with his family, obviously.
Yeah, if it is the way he goes out, it's an untoppable moment. What do you think? Should Michael hang it up? Should Chandler hang it up? Or do you think he can still be competitive in there?
I don't know. Listen, the guy that Michael fought is just so good. Jeez. And that's the thing about Chandler. I mean, even going into this thing, Chandler's like, look at the guys that I fought. I mean, I fought all the baddest dudes in the division. And the lightweight division is nasty. The lightweight division is like the old light heavyweight division in the UFC.
Right.
What makes this situation even more compelling is that Ilia Topuria reportedly wanted to keep fighting despite the damage he had already sustained. That speaks volumes about his competitive spirit, but it also raises an important question. When a fighter refuses to stop, is it a sign of courage or a sign that someone else must step in to protect them? As Dana White emphasized, Topuria's focus now extends beyond his next fight to his long-term health and career. In the UFC's lightweight division, where every battle is unforgiving, those decisions can shape the rest of a fighter's career.
Gaethje's immediate reaction after beating Ilia Topuria.
Trying to enjoy this moment, and it was such a crazy ride. We had a lot of delays. A couple of the rehearsal. Again, I wouldn't recommend this to my enemy. We are some of the toughest people on this earth. The body shots were crazy. I mean, he was really, really fast, but when he didn't get the finish at the end of the second round, I think it really took his spirit. And, again, I said it in the press conference leading up. I was like, he really backed himself into a corner saying he's going to be so dominant. And I said it. When we go to the second round, you're going to be like, what the fuck? When we go to the third round, you're going to be like, what the fuck? And, that's what I did tonight.
Did you feel he was broken after he didn't get that finish?
I never felt he was broken because he was so dangerous at the whole time. But in the third round, when I started landing those jabs, when he started finding his back foot, I knew something was different.
Justin Gaethje's reaction revealed a different side of the fight. In his view, the victory wasn't won by technique alone. It became a battle of momentum and mentality. He sensed the moment Ilia Topuria's rhythm began to change. And once that shift occurred, he never allowed him to regain control. From that point on, the fight wasn't just physically demanding. It became a psychological battle as well.
Topuria will look back and go, why didn't I let him up?
What about that 1 minute between the rounds? If Ilia had to come out with that 1 minute when they were looking at him and he said he couldn't see, Justin might have stopped him right then. Ilia had a full minute to completely recover that he should have gotten. Inexperienced doctor.
They overruled Doctor who may not have been as experienced in this.
Mark said it was an inexperienced doctor. You gotta let them fight.
Gotta let them fight.
If they want to fight, you gotta let them.
Yeah, Ilia's in the hospital. He's busted up. You know, I'm not a doctor, but his eye looked like he probably has broken orbital. I don't know that's not a fact, but I'm just assuming. And my plans for him are to go home and rest and recover and take his time. And you know, tonight was a rough night for him. I just want to make sure he's healthy and good, and not even thinking about him fighting again. Just want him to go home and relax and rest.
Any expectations? I had none. I thought he was going to be faster. Thought he'd be stronger. I thought he'd hit a lot harder. I always tell myself they're better than me, and you know, it makes me push myself. Like I need to push myself to be the best that I can be to perform.
Joe Rogan, Dana White, and several MMA analysts examined the aftermath of Ilia Topuria's grueling fight with Justin Gaethje, focusing on his recovery and the key moments that shaped the bout. Rogan discussed the controversial break in the action, while Dana White confirmed that Topuria was hospitalized for evaluation after suffering a suspected orbital injury and would require time to recover. Gaethje reflected on the relentless mindset and preparation that carried him through the fight, while MMA analysts suggested the lightweight division could be entering a new chapter, with contenders such as Arman Tsarukyan now positioned to play a major role in the evolving title picture.
Next opponent should be Arman Tsarukyan in the lightweight division for the Undisputed World Championship, of course. It's time to give Arman his title shot. I know he's been out for a long time, and if Ilia had won, you'd also want to run the Arman Tsarukyan match because of the bad blood that they have. But now I think you've got to do Gaethje versus Tsarukyan because he's been inactive, but he's still been building his name value. And the wins that he has in the lightweight division, including the win over Charles Oliveira, I know it was a split decision, and I would have loved to have seen it ran back before we don't get a chance to, because it's Tsarukyan next. I know Oliveira has a win over Gaethje. I know he does, okay? And I know that you can use that to say, well, Oliveira should get a title shot against Justin Gaethje, but I think it's time for something new. I think it's time for a new name to be in that lightweight title picture, because Ilia Topuria was that new name, but for a while it was just Makhachev versus Poirier versus Oliveira, and then Khabib was there and he was taking on Poirier and Gaethje, and I just feel like all of the same names have been in the lightweight title picture for a very long time. It's time to let someone new get a
While many fans are still focused on the outcome of the fight, the UFC lightweight division is already entering a new phase. According to MMA analysts, Topuria's defeat may have reshaped the title picture. Before the loss, many believed he was on the verge of establishing a dominant reign. Now that narrative has shifted, with contenders such as Arman Tsarukyan, Charles Oliveira, and Justin Gaethje once again emerging as major players. When a rising champion is defeated, the balance of power in the division can change almost overnight.
Justin Gaethje, last fight, it was like when I go to the cage, you know, this guy, he hit like truck, you know, like nobody hit harder than Justin Gaethje. His kick, his punch, his left hook, right uppercut, you know, it's like, but I make him hit me, you know? Like when I go to the cage and I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring him to the deep ocean. Yeah. Deep ocean is like, I'm gonna make him tired on stand-up and I'm gonna bring him on ground and finish him there, you know? First of all, what I have to do, because he have very good wrestling base. He is very good wrestlers, and like beginning of fight, I knew like this guy don't let me wrestling, and I go through on his punch, kicks, and you know, it's like everything what happened with father, like I was.
To understand why this fight became so difficult for Ilia Topuria, many point to Khabib Nurmagomedov's assessment of Justin Gaethje. Khabib has long described Gaethje as a fighter whose power and relentless pressure can change the course of a fight in an instant. Against an opponent with that style, even the smallest mistake can become costly, and every round demands constant focus. Beyond the physical damage, many believe the mental recovery after such a defeat can take even longer than the body to heal. As several analysts noted, major upsets rarely happen by chance. They result from a combination of preparation, key adjustments, and critical moments that ultimately shift the fight's momentum.